My name is Robert Stevens. I was the writer, producer, and director for the Performance Triad video campaign that we did for the Army Surgeon General's office. We were approached by the Army Surgeon General's office to produce a series of videos that would be both sort of an explanation of what the Performance Triad campaign was, as well as training materials for soldiers, their families, civilians. They initially approached us about producing 50 videos. The challenge was they needed them done in 3 months. And when I did the math, that came out to producing a video every 1.8 days, which is just crazy. But we sat down, we kind of mapped out a plan for how to get it done, and we actually got it done. About halfway through the process, they asked us to produce 16 more videos, and we, unbelievably, we decided to take that on. And so by the time we finished, we had done a total of 66 videos for them. Typically, when we first start off a project, we obviously need to know what is the client's objective. You know, what is the main message they're trying to get out there? Who is it that they're trying to get the message to? And then as a scriptwriter, my job is to come up with a creative concept to, you know, what is the best way to get that message out? But it's not just the best way to do it, but also it needs to work with the client's budget. So I take their budget, I take their timeline, I take their message, and I try to come up with a creative idea that sort of fits in all of those constraints, if you will. For this campaign, the Performance Triad, they had a broad audience because they wanted to reach soldiers, families, civilians. So we really needed to have a sort of a multifaceted approach because it had to reach out to so many different people. But their deadline was so tight that we had to do a lot of things at the same time. So while I was writing the 66 scripts, which takes time, we had other producers who were out location scouting, getting the permits involved to shoot at different locations. We had other producers working on casting of actors. We had producers working on reaching out to people in the Army. For example, we went to Fort Benning to film Rangers training. Well, that took an enormous amount of coordination, as you can imagine, to line that up. So I think one of the things we really excel at is being very organized, knowing what has to get done, knowing how to do it, and taking all of that off the client's plate. Once we went into production, it was like a well-oiled machine. I mean, there were some locations where we had 3 separate production crews shooting at the same time. You know, we would be, for example, at the beach, and we would have 3 different locations on the beach to try to maximize the amount of footage. So instead of maybe being at a beach for 3 days, we were there for 1 day, but we got 3 days worth of footage. As we were shooting, I was bringing the footage back to the editors, and we had multiple editors editing these videos at the same time. We also had multiple graphic artists creating all the graphics for the graphics package for the different videos. One of the great things about our facility is that we do have access to some of the best equipment in the industry today. Because we were shooting with multiple crews each day, we had to have multiple camera packages, we had to have multiple lighting packages, we also had dollies and jib arms and steady cams. We shot for an entire week at a hangar down the street from our facility, and we had a large camera crane that we put in that hangar to get some really dynamic shots of soldiers working out in sort of a makeshift gym, if you will, where they converted the hangar into a gym. You know, we spent a couple of days actually doing the conversion ourselves, and then we spent about 4 or 5 days with the actual soldiers filming them doing different workouts that followed the tenets of the Performance Triad. I think one of the really strong points, if not the strongest point about the Enterprise Multimedia Center, is we really are a one-stop shop. Yes, we produced 66 initial videos for them, but we also did print banners that matched the campaign that we had developed with the videos. We also put a toolkit together that all the videos and print materials would go in. We're currently working on a website for the Performance Triad as well. So that website is going to focus all the videos, it's going to focus all the photography that we did at the same time, and the customer is able to come to us and get all of those services under one roof, and it just makes it very convenient for the customer.